In the shadows of our past, there exist crimes so eerie and baffling that they have resisted the greatest detective minds of the last 100 years. A chilling thought, isn't it? This is the world of unsolved mysteries, a realm where answers are as elusive as shadows, and the truth is often stranger than fiction. For a full century, these unresolved cases have fascinated and confounded us, their chilling details and puzzling clues acting as a siren song for armchair detectives and seasoned investigators alike. From the unexplained disappearances that leave no trace, to the chilling murders with no discernible motive or perpetrator, these mysteries force us to confront the limits of our understanding. They remind us that despite our best efforts, some questions remain unanswered, some riddles unsolved. As we delve into these mysteries, remember, these are real stories, with real victims, and their answers still elude us. We begin in 1913, with the enigmatic disappearance of renowned writer Ambrose Bierce. A man of words, Bierce was no stranger to the macabre, often penning tales that delved into the darker aspects of human nature. Perhaps in a twist of irony, his life took on an eerie resemblance to his chilling narratives when he decided to venture into Mexico at the age of 71. His letters home ceased, and Ambrose Bierce simply vanished. Despite exhaustive searches and countless investigations, no concrete evidence of his fate was ever uncovered. Theories abound, from Bierce perishing in the Mexican Revolution, to him taking his own life, to even more fantastical ideas of alien abductions. Yet none hold water without substantial proof. The absence of answers has only fueled the speculation, turning Bierce's disappearance into a tale as enigmatic as his own stories. To this day, the fate of Ambrose Bierce remains one of literature's most haunting mysteries. Fast forward to 1948 on a beach in Australia, where a man is found dead with a mysterious note. This is the Tamam Shud case, a mystery that has baffled investigators for over 7 decades. The man, impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, lay dead on Adelaide's Somerton beach with no identification. In a concealed pocket, a cryptic note was found. 2 words, Tamam Shud, meaning ended or finished in Persian, were printed on a scrap of paper. Further deepening the mystery, a concealed compartment in a car near the crime scene held a strange book. Inside, a bizarre code was scribbled, yet to be deciphered today. Despite extensive efforts, the man's identity remains a secret. No leads, no suspects, just a trail of perplexing clues. Investigators were left in the dark, grappling with a case shrouded in enigma. Despite extensive investigation, the identity of the man and the meaning of the note remain unknown. In the summer of 1951, a young girl named Beverly Potts vanished without a trace in Cleveland, Ohio. On a balmy August evening, Beverly, just 10 years old, attended a local park show. When she didn't return home, a frantic search ensued. The city of Cleveland rallied, with hundreds of volunteers scouring the area, but to no avail. Beverly had simply disappeared. Despite an extensive investigation, authorities were left frustrated by a lack of substantial leads. No witnesses, no physical evidence, not even a hint of foul play. It was as if Beverly had vanished into thin air. Over time, the case grew cold, but it never faded from the public's memory. Numerous theories have been proposed over the years, from kidnapping to a tragic accident, but none have ever been proven. The case has been reopened multiple times, and yet, the mystery remains. More than 7 decades later, Beverly's disappearance continues to baffle investigators and haunt the city of Cleveland. In the 1970s and 80s, a predator known as the original Night Stalker terrorized California, leaving a trail of unsolved crimes. This enigmatic figure committed a series of burglaries, rapes, and murders, instilling deep-rooted fear in the hearts of Californians. The original Night Stalker was meticulous, often spending time in victims' homes before the attacks, learning their routines, and leaving unsettling signs of his presence. His crimes were brutal, his methods chillingly precise, and his ability to elude capture was uncanny. Despite the tireless work of law enforcement and the deployment of groundbreaking investigative techniques, the original Night Stalker remained a phantom, a faceless specter of terror that loomed large over the Golden State. As technology advanced, so too did the efforts to unmask this elusive criminal. DNA evidence, geographic profiling, even familial genetic searches were employed. Yet the identity of the original Night Stalker, the person behind this reign of terror, continues to elude us. Despite advancements in forensic technology, the identity of the original Night Stalker remains a chilling mystery. In 1986, a young British estate agent named Susie Lamplugh vanished in broad daylight. It was a typical sunny day in July when Susie, a bright and vivacious 25-year-old, left her office in Fulham, London, for a property viewing. She marked her appointment with the enigmatic Mr. Kipper in her diary, a name that would soon become infamous. As hours passed, Susie didn't return. Her worried colleagues raised the alarm, sparking one of the largest missing persons investigations in UK history. Despite extensive searches and public appeals, Susie was never found. Her car, discovered abandoned near the property, offered little in the way of clues. Theories about Susie's fate have swirled for years, some pointing to convicted murderers, others to organized crime, yet no conclusive evidence has ever surfaced. Despite the tireless efforts of her family and the police, Susie's case remains open, a chilling reminder of a life abruptly interrupted. More than 3 decades later, the disappearance of Susie Lamplugh is still one of Britain's most notorious unsolved crimes. In 1999, beloved British television presenter Jill Dando was tragically murdered on her doorstep. On a sunny morning in April, Jill returned to her home in Fulham, only to be met with a fatal gunshot. This sudden, brutal act sent shockwaves across the nation. The subsequent investigation, launched by the Metropolitan Police named Operation Oxborough, was one of the largest and most complex in recent British history. Thousands of individuals were interviewed, and countless leads followed. Yet the case took a disconcerting twist when Barry George, a local man with a history of stalking, was wrongfully convicted and later acquitted. Over 2 decades later, the mystery of who took Jill's life remains. Theories abound, from a professional hit to a random act of violence, but none offer concrete answers. Despite extensive investigation and massive public interest, the murder of Jill Dando remains unsolved, leaving an eerie void in the annals of British crime history. In 2007, the world was shocked by the disappearance of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann from her bed in Portugal. The McCann family, on a holiday from the UK, had left Madeleine and her twin siblings asleep while they dined at a nearby tapas restaurant. Upon their return, they found Madeleine missing, sparking an international outcry and a frantic search that spanned continents. The hunt for Madeleine was extensive and relentless. Law enforcement agencies from Portugal, the UK, and other countries collaborated, sifting through countless leads and tips. The media, too, played a significant role, keeping the story alive in the public eye, and helping to raise millions in funds dedicated to the search. In the years that followed, numerous theories surfaced, from abduction by a pedophile ring to tragic accident covered up by the parents, yet none have brought Madeleine home. Despite years of investigation and countless theories, the disappearance of Madeleine McCann remains one of the world's most famous unsolved mysteries. In the early 2010s, a series of grisly discoveries on a beach in Long Island revealed a serial killer's hunting ground. The tranquil sandy shores became the backdrop of a chilling narrative as the remains of 10 victims were unearthed. Each discovery, a grim testament to the killer's macabre craft, sent ripples of dread through the community. Authorities launched an extensive investigation into the case dubbed as the Long Island serial killer. The victims, mostly women associated with the sex trade, were carefully targeted, fueling the belief that the perpetrator was a calculating and methodical individual. Despite deploying advanced forensic techniques and profiling, the authorities were stumped. The killer left no DNA, no fingerprints, nothing that could definitively link to a suspect. The investigation, over a decade old now, has seen leads dry up and trails run cold. Despite the horror of the crimes, the Long Island serial killer remains at large, his identity unknown. From eerie disappearances to chilling murders, these unsolved crimes continue to fascinate, horrify, and baffle us. We've delved into the shadows of the past century, unearthing tales that still echo in the halls of criminal history. We've retraced the steps of the vanished, listened to the silent screams of the victims, and stared into the faceless masks of the perpetrators. Each story is a testament to the human capacity for curiosity, for it is in our nature to seek answers, to pursue truth, even in the darkest of corners. The allure of these unsolved crimes is enduring, and it is more than just morbid fascination. It's a quest for justice, a desire for closure, and a reminder of our own vulnerability. It's a shared journey into the abyss, a collective gasp at the unknown. As we close this chapter of unsolved crimes, we are reminded that sometimes the most haunting stories are those left without an ending.